So we are going to be looking at a scenario where civilization starts over. In the last episode, we saw the ending of World War V with a Diamond Alliance victory, because we saw the Octagonal Alliance join in on the Diamond Alliance's side to end expansionism and to unite the world underneath peace. If you guys are enjoying this series, make sure to like and subscribe. This is the time to be a fan of my Wixo because we are approaching the end. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this episode. So this episode is going to be the peace treaty of World War V. And as you can see, I highlighted all the areas that we will be discussing for the peace treaty in white. And you might be wondering what's happening up over here in Europe. Well, the Diamond Alliance powers and the Octagonal Alliance powers, they are not going to be dividing up this drainaged land. They will be leaving it until the water can eventually refill it back up one day. There are some areas that are taken over by the land, and that's fine. But this is our new map of Europe. But we are going to be starting this peace treaty down over in this area. Mainly what to do with Oman's area inside of Africa. First off, Sudan will be rewarded in their victory in war by getting this land. We then see Kenya returning. Kenya is going to push for them to get all of this land, but that's not actually going to happen. Instead, they're going to get this piece of land right here, and this will become a new country. This is going to be Somalia, and they will be putting their capital city right there. With the African area that Oman inhabited now divided up, we need to go down over to this country right here that Angola and South Africa invaded. They invaded this country towards the start of the war, and they absolutely obliterated the government of it. But because Angola did leave the war and didn't really put up a fight against the octagonal powers, they will be granting some land to Angola. Angola is going to be getting all of this land, which consisted of the old capital of the Golden Nation. And Angola was actually forced to switch their ideology, so now they are in favor of the Octagonal Alliance. Down here we see Kenya getting all of this land, so Kenya benefited a lot from this war. Then right here in this area that the South Africans invaded, we see a new country appearing. This will be a new gold country, not the same one as the one up here. And they're going to put their capital city right there. Now the division of South Africa. First off, we see a familiar face reappearing, and that is the old South African nation. A country now followed by democratic roots. They are now the rulers of South Africa. With the rest of this, we see it getting split between two countries, with this coastal area actually going over to Madagascar. But the rest of this is just going to get turned into a new Namibia. And they're going to be putting their capital city right down here. South Africa and the Peace Treaty of Africa is pretty much done, at least in the south. Now let's go up over to India, where we have the Asian Union dealing with the Indian Peace Treaty. First, Pakistan is going to annex the Oman parts that they took from them a little bit ago. We then see the Asian Union annexing all these areas into the new Asian Union, or just into the Asian Union, and this increases their population by a crap ton. India was the most populated country in the world when it was around during the Cold War. As you can see from the provinces, at least, they're really tiny and there's a lot of them. More importantly, they now have a connection up with the Sri Lanka rebellion, and the leader of the Asian Union has now kind of become the unofficial dictator of it, or the monarch. He is sworn into power and he's not taken out of it because he is not afraid. He will stand and fight for his country if he needs to. We then see this getting put into a new Indian country, which I don't really like this color. Let's do a teal color. There's the Indian Peace Treaty. Now let's go over to the rest of Oman. First, we finally see the return of Yemen, once a giant empire inside of the Middle East, then got reduced to just a little part of Arabia, which was then invaded by Oman. Now we need to go see what lands the red team is taking. All the red team takes are these lands right here, and they are once again a strong power inside of Arabia. Now we need to go over to the UAE, where we see the return of the United Arab Emirates. The countries, mainly Kuwait, this red team, and this UAE country, are kind of the stablemates of Arabia. They have all been here for a long time, and they always come back. And they're going to be putting their capital city right there. Now down to the core Oman areas. First off, we see a tiny blue nation popping up in this coastal area of Arabia. We then see a green nation popping up, and I'm going to change their color slightly to this. In the rest of these areas, we see a new blue nation popping up, and the rest of this gets split between two nations. Most of this becomes a new nation, and the rest becomes the new state of Oman. Oman is still here, but different government, and it's a lot smaller. We need to give capitals to all these nations. For the gold one, it's going to be right there. The blue one, there. And for the two tiny ones, the green one there and the blue one there. Now moving up over here, the government of the pink team right here officially collapsed. And it is no longer a country. So we just see this getting its new government, and a new country is established in this area. There's the Arabian peace treaty, or the Oman peace treaty. Now we need to go up over to Iraq. They surrendered pretty early in this war. I don't know why Cyprus is colored like that. We see the Persian Union taking these territories from Iraq. We see this country, not that. This country gets its independence once again, and the green team takes these lands. But we're not done, because we still need to see what Egypt and Turkey take. Turkey takes over these coastal areas right here, cutting Iraq off from the Mediterranean. Instead of taking land, Egypt just changes its government and reverts it back to Iraq. So there's the Iraq treaty. Now we need to go over to Europe. We see the return of Bulgaria, getting all of their old lands back, but being a slightly different color. We also see these areas falling over to Bulgaria. Next, we see the Golden Greeks getting re-established into these areas. We see the purple team make a return. Poland takes, not that, all these areas down in this southern area. We see Slovenia reappear over in this area. We see the French Union being established once again, showing that France is a dominant country in the world still. Over in Iberia, Iberia is going to take these Portuguese areas. Over in this area, we see the return of the magenta team. Right here, we see a new lime green nation. And for the first time ever, Iberia is not ruled by a blue country. At least the original blue country. We see a dark bluish nation popping up, and this is the new Iberian country. A pinkish Portuguese country. This orange, northern Spanish country. And right here, a central Madrid country. Iberia is divided up amongst powers never seen before, besides magenta and Iberia. Right here we see a new dark red country appearing, and now we're down to Italy, at least in the old world peace treaty. Over here though, Carthage is remade into a new country. Pretty much both of these guys just get their independence once again. But Carthage is going to get Sicily. The return of the southern pink Italian country happens. Right here we see this, not that. This becomes a new country. The lime team, or a lime team, is set up over here. We see a new northern Italian team being established. Right here we see a greenish Italian country popping up. We see a purple one popping up. And finally, Rome is now put underneath the hands of a blue Italian country. Here is what Europe looks like now. I know it's a little weird with all this stuff here, but it will be gone in the future, hopefully. Now I need to give capitals to all these nations. The pink one there. For all these guys, it's going to go over to the one major city they have. For the northern Italians, up here. The red team here. Green team there. Magenta there. This Madrid team there. There and there. Down over in Greece, Athens. And for the purple team, there. Slovenia there. So that is going to do it for the European peace treaty. Now we need to go divide up South America and the Aztecs. First, we have the return of Venezuela. For their helpfulness in the war, the Brazilians are awarded a big chunk of, French Guianan land. Peru takes all of this land, and the rest of this is just going to go over to Venezuela. I would definitely say South America has the fewest countries besides... over here, their capital is going to be put in where it used to be. And now we need to look at the rest of the Aztec peace treaty. First, we see Cuba getting released as its very own country. But it's also going to go with Jamaica and the Bahamas. So we kind of see like a Cuba empire. These guys consider themselves the real Aztecs because this is where the Europeans first landed inside of America and found them. Next, we see Dominica getting its independence away from the Aztecs. Down over here, we see a Central American country getting released. Besides from Panama, they revolt away themselves. This new Aztec and now we see them moving their capital city over to this area in Cuba. Now we just have Mexico. We see the North American Union taking control of all of these areas. We see this Texan team taking over all of these areas. They then go ahead and join up with the North American Union. So really, the Texans taking land is just an excuse so that way the North American Union can get more land. And the rest of this is made into a new Mexican country. And the peace treaty of World War V is officially done. Oops. And that is going to do it for the World War V era. And we are now entering into the Age of Unity officially. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.